I had just a little great discussion with that home overtaker here, because I know whom's privacy things here and with whom I've worked very together with, and it is not for to be sent out then you or something in that world ways, because we lived everywhere very good, yes. And ours, if we could live together that few moments, but mostly it wasn't being shared by theirs, yes. And since I watched to whom Mr. Connery has to talk in some reports of yes, also from racism coming persons absolutely cold, and what happens to others, well, they make the disaster there, and I get that in many ways, yes, while the overtakers of our homes here talk about that would be the animal religions, yes, and so on, and we have to take that. And I told them that whenever you're homes, yes, and I would like to force it back in the ways we should get it back, because the persons you injured here were very higher class persons and should not get what you gave them in that overtaking ways of getting SA and SS trouble by yours, yes. And all of them were in the interviews very cold and played their own games and couldn't talk normal in any way, yes, and everything would have to be understood by them in a very great alarm. And here's played also now the whole time through games, and I should work shopping with them. And I said, do your shoppings alone? Yes, you are nothing then in racism overtake of that homes and out of that families you are coming. And only because of you have the right to give not back the sirs. I knew that rooms are homes you overtook here, and that were a little bit more than some could imagine, yes, in that ways, because they just would not like to give me back my family, yes, in the same way like took me away from partners. I would like to give or have a hold for me, yes. And that is here on that side, like on the other side, and in many other cases, yes. And that between awful brainwashings and to the same time often also wrong done operations somewhere, yes. And it is made better between maybe somehow, but not in every case. And about that I'm also struggling. And they do always what they want to do in the homes of them. Yes, it was awful, like I talked about, and so. And they are very cold in what they think about the death of others, or laughing about how they do that. Yes, and he was just that curious bell ringing 2 times. While he was angry about that, I would not like to work for a shopping tour with him. I don't play. I did not install that here, so yes. And I haven't the technology or developed such games to make money out of the things others had built it up. And such a kind of persons were everywhere, and they have a very curious special racism talks brought into every language, just to do very sad things to parts they closed, or to do their new racism things, yes. And that is what I mean, and no one of theirs feel in any way guilty for, yes. I think they should feel guilty.